Good day. In this video, we're going to look at about 5 problems where we have to simplify using surds. For the purpose of this video, we'll be going forward and backwards with this rule of surds. If you have a square root of 8 times the square root of 2, you're allowed to put one square root and put the multiplied numbers underneath and then simplify it wherever it goes. Going backwards, if you square root a compound number, you're allowed to keep the square root and break it up into a square rootable number times another number, as long as it still gives me 18. Then I can break it up like we did here, work out the square root of 9, which is 3, and keep the square root of 2. So here is our first problem. They say that we must simplify this. So we will times this with this, this with that, this with this, and this with that, with the FOIL technique. Here now is about one technique. You can take square root of 2 times square root of 8 gives me square root of 16. Square root of 2 times 2 will give me plus 2 square root 2. Minus 3 times this will give me this. And minus 3 times this will give me this. Square root of 16 will give me 4. This term I'll let wait. This I'll break up the 8 into a 4 times 2. I'll keep my minus 6. The plus 4 minus 6 will give me a minus 2. I'll keep this term. And this one will simplify to minus 6 square root 2. Then we will add these two like terms. Plus 2 square root 2 minus 6 square root 2 is minus 4 square root 2. And I keep the minus 2. That is the final answer. Please stop your video and get your brain around this. You might have to look twice at this video to understand this question. Again, it says simplify. We have to times these two brackets with each other. Now we got fifth roots in both of them. Before we start, you need to know that square root of 6 times square root of 6 is just 6. If you times the cube root of 5 times the cube root of 3, you can put one cube root and put the 5 times 3 underneath. And you must know, if you have x plus 3y times x minus 3y, the middle terms will fall away. X times x is x squared minus 3xy plus 3xy. And then minus 9y squared, and then minus 3xy plus 3xy, mean there will be no middle term here. So this times this will give you x squared minus 9y squared. Please stop the video and get your brain around this. First thing we do is we put 1/5 root, and we put this and this in brackets and multiply them underneath there. Using this law, the second one here. Using this rule up top here, square root of 35 times square root of 35 will give you 35. Plus square root of 3 times minus square root of 3 will give me minus 3. That will give me the fifth root of 32. Then I'll prime factorize the 32. And then I'll get my final answer. The fifth root of 2 to the power of 5 is 2. Please stop the video and get your brain around this problem. Here's our next problem. It says simplify this expression. I rewrote it as two brackets next to each other. That's what the square means. From here, you can skip quite a few steps, but let's go through the motions. If I then times this square root of x to the power of 5 with this one, I'll get x to the power of 10 under the square root. This one times this one will give me this. This one times that one will give me this. And this one times that one will give me that. X times h will give me x squared. Then, this square root of x to the power of 10 will give me x to the power of 5 because you halve the exponent. That one will give me minus x to the power of 4, same with that one. And that will give me a plus x to the power of 3 over x squared. Then we'll keep the bottom as x to the power of 2. That x to the power of 5 I will keep. Here I have minus x to the power of 4 minus x to the power of 4 is minus 2x to the power of 4. And I'll keep the plus x cubed. Then I will factorize out an x squared at the top here, which will give me this top, and the bottom will stay x squared. Why did I do that? I want to simplify further. X squared times x to the power of 3 will give me x to the power of 5, and so on. Then we will cancel. X to the power of 2 goes in itself once, and x to the power of 2 goes in itself once. And that leaves us with the final answer, x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. Please stop the video and get your brain around this problem. Right, here is our second last problem. It says simplify this. The first thing I usually do is I prime factorize the numbers under the square root. That 45 becomes 3 squared times 5. 125 becomes 5 cubed, and 80 becomes 2 to the power of 4 times 5. The rest stays underneath each of the square roots. The next move takes some getting used to. I took each one of these three guys at the top and put them under their own square root. Then I took this 5 cube and broke it up into 5 squared times 5, because I can square root a 5 square but not a 5 cube. And I keep the square root of x to the power of 8. These three products I put underneath, each one underneath his own square root. Then you square root each one of these 9 factors separately. So that one becomes that x1 becomes that square root of 5 can't get out, he stays there. Square root of 5 becomes that 5. Square root of x to the power of 8 becomes that x to the power of 4, and so on. Please stop the video and just understand what happened. Now the second last step is not for the faint of heart, because we have to simplify, it says up here. We have to look for a common factor up here and down here. And you'll see x squared, square root 5, will be a common factor at the top and the bottom. If I take this out times this, I'll get that. If I pull this out from the bottom two terms, this will be remaining. Now we can cancel. We can say x squared goes in itself once, and x squared goes down there once. Square root of 5 goes in itself once, and also goes in there once. Then our final answer will look like this. Please stop the video and get your brain around this one. Last one for this video. It says simplify this expression. Firstly, I prime factorize everything underneath the cube roots. Then I arrange them in handleable factors. Now, 2 cube can come out from under the cube root. 3 cube can come out from under the cube root. And this one can just wait. Then this stays. 2 cube root of 2 minus 3 cube root of 2 gives us minus 1 cube root of 2. Then you can cancel. Cube root of 2 goes in itself once. Cube root of 2 goes in itself once. Your final answer, minus 1. Please stop the video and get your brain around this one. Please indicate whether you liked or disliked the video and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy Surds.